How to replace a broken trigger on a Dyson V11. The Dyson V10 uses the same process. You will need a new trigger, a crosshead screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver, a Torx T8 screwdriver, that's the small star-shaped one, and a pair of pliers. First, remove the two screws underneath the battery and the one at the back holding it in place. Then pull off the battery. Twist off the filter. Hopefully yours is cleaner than mine. Now remove the bin, slide it upwards, then press the red tab to fully release it from the vacuum. The first screws we need to undo are crosshead screws. There are 4 around the back and another 2 further down near the handle. These 6 screws hold the cyclone onto the vacuum body. Make sure they're all fully unscrewed and then pull the cyclone off the body. Next, there are 2 Torx T8 screws, one on each side of this white plastic cover. Once they're removed, carefully lift the cover using your flathead screwdriver. Just gently turning the screwdriver in this gap should be enough to release it. Under the cover is the circuit board. Some of these have silicone sealant inside. If yours does, you'll need to carefully remove enough of it to access the connections. Luckily, mine doesn't. Carefully unplug this small connector from the circuit board. The wires are fragile, so take your time. Be particularly careful with the white and black wires, as the solder joints can fail if they're pulled. Some people push the black plug out as well. I don't. Next, remove these 2 Torx T8 screws holding the power connections to the circuit board. Now get your pliers. We need to straighten these 2 connections enough to allow them to pass through the body. Grip each connector with the pliers and carefully bend it down. They don't need to be perfectly straight just yet. Do the same with both of them. You can now remove the motor and circuit board assembly from the body. Next, remove these 2 small screws. They're slightly awkward to reach, so the thinner and longer your T8 screwdriver is, the easier this will be. Now use your flathead screwdriver to carefully prise this section upwards from the front. It should then pull away. Again, be careful not to damage the thin wires. If the 2 power connections aren't quite straight enough, flatten them a little more with your pliers. Once they're flat, everything should come apart much more easily. There's one final screw. It's another T8 hidden inside the handle at the back of this black plastic section. It's important to make sure this screw is fully undone. If it isn't, the next step can damage the screw hole that it sits in. Now grip the black plastic firmly with your pliers and pull. The trigger assembly should suddenly release from the handle. And here is the famous snap trigger. When you press the trigger, this broken section can no longer press the battery button to switch the vacuum on. Remove the broken trigger and fit the new one in its place. Make sure the holes are sitting correctly and the spring is properly located. Then check that the trigger moves freely and springs back into position. Now it's time to put everything back together. Bunch the wires together as neatly as you can. Thread them up through the handle and out through the hole at the top. Pull firmly on the power wires, then refit the screw inside the handle. Be careful not to over-tighten this screw. Now for one of the trickier parts, we need to thread the wires back through this section. I use my pliers to flatten the power connections a little more. You can also use a small amount of silicone spray inside the plastic section to help the wires slide through more easily. Once you've wrestled everything back into position, secure it using the 2 short screws we removed earlier. Now bend the 2 power connections back upwards. Push the smaller wires up next to them. We'll reconnect that plug in a moment. We're aiming to get the 2 power connections back to roughly a right angle so they can be secured to the circuit board. The red connection goes on the left, as you're looking at it this way, and the black connection goes on the right. It's difficult to get them the wrong way around, but it's worth mentioning. Secure both connections to the circuit board with the 2 Torx screws. Next comes another fiddly bit. Carefully press the small square plug back into the circuit board. It's difficult to explain exactly how it feels, but you'll know when it's seated correctly. Now replace the white cover and secure it with the 2 Torx screws, one on each side. You can then slide the cyclone back into position. If you're having to fight with it, stop and check the alignment. When everything is lined up correctly, it should slide nicely into place. Secure the cyclone using the 6 crosshead screws we removed earlier, 4 around the top and 2 near the handle. Push the battery back into position and secure it using the 3 remaining crosshead screws. Replace the filter. Mine is a new one now. Finally, slide the bin back onto the vacuum. And hey presto, it's alive. Please say thank you in the comments if this helped. The next video is if your Dyson ever gets the very common airways blocked fault.